Let's now bring in Kimball. He's a security analyst at the Middle East Forum. The IDF typically makes tremendous efforts to avoid civilian casualties, often endangering its own soldiers to protect Palestinians. The IDF even makes soldiers account for every bullet fired. What do you make of this incident and the investigation here?
Well, this is very simple. It's an attempted invasion by Hamas into Israel. Israel has every right to protect its borders and to use whatever force necessary to repel the attacks. This isn't about freedom for people in Gaza. This is about the destruction of the Jewish state of Israel and the slaughter of Jews. And what the IDF has been doing has been a proportionate use of arms to repel this attack, and ultimately they need to take additional action to deter future attacks. That's, the case here of a, medic that died as perhaps collateral death in this case. That's not a result of the IDF. That is a direct result of Hamas seeking to invade a sovereign country.
Well, the death of that paramedic has been getting a lot of media attention, a lot of social media attention. In fact, a former IDF soldier who was released from service 2.5 years ago, she was falsely accused of killing this medic. The Freedom for Gaza Facebook page claimed that an American-born soldier named Rebecca was responsible for what it called this execution. She's been receiving death threats. As we said, she hasn't even been in the IDF for the past 2.5 years. Does this investigation impact this at all? Does this issue potentially get resolved through this investigation?
Not in the sense of what you're referring to, because this is the playbook that Hamas carries out. They make a claim. The media who's looking to vilify Israel will take this claim. They will spread the claims even without verifying it. When the truth does come out that Hamas was lying about their claims, if it turns out that the IDF's initial investigation here is correct, that they did not target this medic, there will be no correction by Hamas, and even if there is, it doesn't matter because the damage has already been done. They're seeking to gain media attention for their efforts. They're still operating under the same rubric that existed for the past decade or 2 decades, that the media, the international media, European countries and other countries around the region will condemn Israel, and that this will help their cause. What's been happening is that the other countries in the region haven't cared as much about Hamas and their tactics. Well,
this is a complete misinformation. As we said, this female American soldier, Rebecca, getting death threats, and she wasn't even serving at the army at the time. Very quickly, despite the ceasefire, the kites coming across the border, those terror kites, burning farmland, Israeli farmland, causing a damage around $1.4 million just over the past month. How should Israel be responding to this?
Well, there's already been proposals to withhold tax money that's supposed to be transferred to the Palestinian Authority for these attacks. But ultimately, the Israelis need to adopt the policy of victory, victory to defeat the Palestinian threat to their existence. And until there is a recognition from Hamas, from the Palestinian Authority, of Israel's right to exist as the Jewish state, and these protests aren't protests, again, for freedom. They are protests to invade and destroy the Jewish state. That's what this Nakba Day is not about freedom. It is about the setback, as they claim, from the '67 war. It's a setback towards their goal of ultimate victory over Israel and the Jewish state. So the Israelis need to take a very strong approach. They need to address this head on, and they need to defeat the enemies that are waging war against them.
All right, thank you so much. Kimball.